Hello and welcome. Come on in. I am going to talk about the retrogrades that are happening, Venus and Mercury both. We are still dealing with that eclipse energy. I'm going to touch on that briefly. And I am going to do readings for all 12 signs. Go grab your coffee, get your tea, come on back. Getting ready to set up the paranormal flashlight. I will see you guys in a moment. All right, welcome back. First off, I want to talk about everybody feels so wonky, exhausted, and pissed off. It is just the energy that we're under. You're not alone. We're all dealing with it right now. We do have those two retrogrades. We've got Venus that really, even though it's the goddess of love, it just highlights a lot of things. It puts a highlight on any kind of relationship connection that could be between you and your bank, even not just a friendship or a romantic relationship. We have Mercury, and that covers a whole lot of stuff that has to do with communication. I have literally done a half-hour video 3 different times under this Mercury retrograde, and I've had glitches and stopped and been frustrated. So you're dealing with that, and Venus brings that frustration in a little bit too. We also have, let's see what else is happening. We are feeling the energy from that lunar eclipse yet. It was a powerful eclipse. Now, some of the things that eclipse set into play will not happen for 6 months. Some things, some of you have felt energy right away, felt a change, as soon as the eclipse happened. But some things that it has set into play won't happen for 6 months. Just like the last eclipses that we had last summer. That was a solar eclipse. That was a total solar eclipse. We've had 2 total eclipses in just the last 6 months. So that energy alone really sets a stiff tone. And we're seeing that on the political field. We are going to continue to see things come to light. There is going to be a lot more light shed on just the corruption that was taking place in our nation's capital, right under our nose, and it was people that we trusted. We are going to have another eclipse at the end of the month. I do believe it's on the 29th, and that is going to be a partial solar eclipse. So it's not going to be as big a deal. However, that energy is still hitting us now, or it already. It's coming at us. We can feel that. So if some of you are feeling really, really, really wonky, exhausted, when I say wonky, I mean just a little bit, almost like you're lightheaded, but not. Kind of forgetting what you were doing, but not. But yeah, just a little out of it. Easy to anger. Be careful. Road rage is real. Now, I am going to pull some oracle cards for the collective, and then I will start with Aries and do all 12 signs. Can I get a couple more, please, for the collective? Let us know what we're in for. I do have the paranormal flashlight set up behind me. Those of you new to the channel, that little white dot right there is the paranormal flashlight, same type that we use in paranormal investigations. A 6-inch mag light, and a spirit will come into the room, take control of the light, and sometimes turn it on or off throughout the reading, just validating spirits in the room. All right, oracle cards for the collective. All right, first off we have Tick Tock, Tick Tock. It's the number 30 card in this deck. However, in numerology, we don't even worry about the 0. That's God's number. We have that 3. That 3 carries very heavily on. Some of you will be hearing about becoming grandparents. possibility to become pregnant. 1 + 1 = 3, right? And some of you are going to feel like that clock is ticking. There's a lot of things I want to do yet. A lot of things I want to do in life. A lot of things on my bucket list. You feel like you're not going to get a lot accomplished. And you feel like that clock is ticking and it's speeding past. We have the number 22 card, and it is blessed. Now, 22 is a power number in numerology. We don't reduce it down. We don't have to get rid of anything, do anything to it. Take it as it is. And it is about being blessed. It's absolutely about actually it's showing me picking up on it intuitively. Some of us are going to be feeling blessed financially. Some of us are going to be feeling blessed with family, with a roof over our head. And that's absolutely a beautiful little card with that fairy floating in that little pink bubble. How about that? She's got her little bubble of protection on. And the last card for the collective is the number 27 card. And it is exchanging gifts. Now that 27 in numerology adds up to a 9. And we happen to be in a 9-year right now. And you are seeing a lot of endings. A lot of endings. Things that we thought were true are coming to a close because they're not true. Government stuff. I don't want to get into it. We see a lot of people leaving the planet. A lot of people are taking this time to graduate onto the next plane and work their way to heaven. We are going to see a lot of pets move on to the other side too. 9 is a year of completion. Now that card is exchanging gifts. And that 9 is letting me know with exchanging gifts that if somebody is handing you an armload of love and you're still hanging on to your armload of angry, you've got no room to take that love. In order to accept a gift, you have to have an open, loving, giving heart. And I want you to keep that in mind because a lot of you, we've got those blessings that are coming our way. All right, getting ready to start with Aries, working my way around the zodiac. Whether it is your sun, your moon, or your rising sign, I suggest you follow your rising sign and your moon sign. Now, your sun sign that's a spot where you were born. You know, when you look up in the newspaper who you are. You're a Scorpio, you're a Virgo, you're Leo. All those O's. Oh, wow. I like that. That's your sun sign. And that's who you are now. That's who you are in this physical life. Your rising sign is a little more of your personality, a little bit more of who you are deeper. And it usually fits a little more accurately than just your sun sign. Okay. And your moon sign is a little more your darker side, who you try to keep hid from public, who you keep trying to improve on. So I suggest looking, absolutely love my ascendant. It fits me a little more accurately. So find out what your rising sign is, or ascendant, same thing, and follow them all, actually. All right, moving on to Aries. All right, welcome in, Aries. Let's see what is going on. Before we get too far, let me see if I have that light adjusted. Can I wake you up? Oh, there we go. That's all I had to do is roll it a little bit. That's if you're working with a paranormal flashlight, you've got to set it up to where it is just almost on. Now, when I do it, I set it up so the flashlight is just barely on, but I'm feeling when spirit takes control of the light and I leave it at that spot. So it may come on or off throughout the reading. For Aries, if it does, I'll be grateful. If it doesn't, you know what? Sometimes I just have more important things to do. All right, can I get a couple more jumpers here for Aries? Aries, you're a fire sign. You know that, I hope, by now. And can I get one more, please, Spirit? We are also in Aries birthday season right now. We are actually in, even though it's March, it is, the equinox is set, the planetary alarm clock for spring. So we are in Aries spring. All right, Aries, we have the Page of Wands. Get ready, we are about to have a plot twist. Something is going to change up for Aries. Actually, looks to be in a good way. We have the Devil card. Now, this Devil came up in reverse. It might be a Capricorn that you happen to be dealing with in your life. You may be a Capricorn, or no, you are an Aries, but it may be a Capricorn you're dealing with. You are putting something behind you that was addictive. It may have been just a lifestyle change you made, eating better, working out, just taking your own health seriously. You may have left something behind also. You may have been a smoker, a heavy drinker. And I see you bringing that, and normally the Devil card has a little bit more negative energy to it. But Aries, this has got great energy around it today. We have also the Four of Pentacles. You have been a little protective of yourself and people around you. As a matter of fact, I feel like it may have been health concerns for the whole family. You may have been somebody that got the thingy, and you may have concerns about that. I also see that you're just protective, really protective of family right now. And even though that's Pentacles, it's showing me the abundance that Aries has in family and friends. So you may be protective of somebody in that nature. And we have the World card. Yeah, look, you're going places. That old habit, that old lifestyle, whatever that was that you had, that you're switching up and going for something healthier and safer, and is opening up the world to you. You're going to be able to see things and smell things again in a different way. You're going to be doing some traveling, and I do see some short distance traveling. Local attractions, just getting out and doing things. We're getting close to Easter, so there's kind of, everybody's got an Easter Bunny lane going on. So Aries, that's what I see. That's what's going on. What's going on next for Taurus? Grab your coffee and come on back. All right, Taurus, welcome back. I am drinking, I'm at that point of the day where I'm drinking water. And I want to tell you, a lot of you guys, about drinking, if you're drinking filtered water, it's not doing you any good. You need to put 2 or 3 little grains of salt in any filtered or bottled water that you drink. Otherwise, that water will pull the minerals out of you and flush them out. All right, moving on to Taurus, I said. Let's see what's happening for Taurus. Put a little health update in. Let me know down in the comments below if you watch all 12 signs. It is okay to be a cross watcher, to see what the kids are doing. How are they? You think one of them is getting ready to go through a divorce? Checking on Aunt Grandma and seeing how she's doing. Spirit, can I get? You want that one out? All right, and that one too. Can I get a couple more jumpers? However, if you're a cross watcher, watch your motives. If you're worried about what your ex is doing, it's none of your damn business. Move on, okay? Let him go. Let her go. They weren't worth it to begin with. All right. Taurus, what's happening? Okay. Okay, got this. Got this. Wow, Taurus. You're in good shape. We've got the Seven of Wands. Things were not very productive for you for a while. It seemed like whatever you tried to accomplish, it was, 2 steps forward and 1 step back. And you've really cultivated everything and things that you want to do, so you know what your direction is, and you will be moving forward. Let's see, where do I want to go next? We've got the Queen here, Queen of Wands. And Taurus, I feel like that's your energy. Now that things are going to be going in a forward momentum for you, you're going to be comfortable enough that you can kind of relax again. Coming home at the end of the day, kicking back in the recliner just didn't have that therapeutic effect that you needed. You're going to get comfortable with seeing that little bit of success come your way. You weren't comfortable with it before. You've gained the queen status, and she's used to going, yes, I'm allowed to be happy. All right, we also have the Justice card, which happens to be a 9. We are, actually, that's an 11, Tina. I take that back all this time. Taurus, things are really beginning to balance out for you in this time frame. Even though the world seems like it's just run amok and everybody's got problems, everybody's angry, there's road rage everywhere, the frustrations build because of the energies that we're under, you've got it pulled together right now. You are literally the calm one. Pretty cool for Taurus. And last but not least, we have the Magician. Somebody was feeding you a false narrative, and you're seeing through it now. Now, whether that is somebody in your personal life, or are you just coming to the dawning of perhaps mainstream media, and they only show us what they want us to see, what they want to program us with. You're seeing that now. However, whatever it is, whatever that means for you, Taurus, you're going to see things. The smoke is going to be cleared away. You have a lot of talents that you haven't used yet. Kind of been afraid to set out on your own. I see some of you Tauruses go ahead and beginning your entrepreneurship, maybe doing something online, becoming an influencer. All right, there you go, Taurus. Moving on to Gemini. Hello and welcome back, Gemini. I am going to switch decks just to change up the energy a little bit. That one coming out. That one jumped right over. If you are new to the channel, welcome, welcome, welcome. As you see, I am taking only the ones that are what we call jumpers. I work that closely with Spirit. I also have the Paranormal flashlight set up. It is just a 6-inch mag light. I am going to go ahead and test it and see if I can feel Spirit. All right, can you let me feel you? Ah, I got that. Do I have the spot? Maybe, maybe not. All right, I'm going to leave it alone. All right, let's see what's going on for Gemini. Wow. You guys have really been working and moving in a good forward direction. We've got the 7 of Wands. You have been working very hard about moving forward. That's the number 7 card. 1, 2, actually there's 2 7s on the table. Two 7s out of 4 cards is pretty good odds that the 7 is supposed to resonate for a reason also. And that being, it is a very spiritual number. And some of you are just now becoming aware of what spirituality is. And that's kind of who I am. I say I'm of the Christ consciousness. I believe in Jesus. I believe in God. Oh man, I love Jesus. He's the dude. But I do this kind of work. And that is basically what spirituality is, knowing there's something above us all. But that Seven of Wands is saying that Gemini, you have really, really been working towards improving your life overall and improving your connection with the divine. We have the Seven of Pentacles, the other seven. And yeah, you're going to begin to see things blossom. Things are going to begin to come into fruition for you during this time. It might be because you're taking on more of a positive mindset. Didn't have it before. Everything was negative. But it's been pounded into our heads. A lot of us, I'm a baby boomer. And the generation before me was a little negative. You can't do that. It can't be done. So you're moving forward in such a positive way that you're beginning to see things blossom and open up out in front of you. We've got the Four of Cups. You're wanting to sit back and take it easy right now. Kind of lean back in the rocking chair a little bit. You know you have choices to make along the way, and you're not afraid to make them anymore. There was a time when you panicked. You had some anxiety. Oh, the car needs fixed. Who do I take it to? I got to call the plumber. Who do I call? But you've gained some confidence. Really, really kind of pulled your shit together, and now you know who you are, and nobody can take that away from you. The reason I say that with such emphasis is, see that cup coming out of the cloud to him? That's an ace of cups coming out of the cloud. So Gemini, you are going to be good gold here, let me tell you. And we have the 10. There is that abundance that you have been working so hard for. I think part of the abundance that's going to come to you is family, your tribe, the people you kick back at the fire and drink a beer with. Some of you have some new people coming into the fire, joining the group, and some of you will be losing some old ones as they transition. This being a 9-year, we are going to see more people crossing over. All right, there you have it, Gemini. Moving on to Cancer. All right, welcome back, Cancer. I had the light adjusted on. It went off right as I started the camera again. Never fails. Some days they mess with me like that. Cancer, it is a Mercury retrograde. How have you been faring? Let me know in the comments down below. If you watch all of them, give me a like. Please subscribe if you don't already. One more, please, for Cancer. Take that one, should I, Spirit? All of them? Okay. Wowie, wow, wow. All right. Cancer, you're getting a little more for your money here, because of the light and the spirit energy that I felt, the connection that I felt, and the message I got. All right. I've been talking about it being a 9-year, and I'm going to start with the 9 of Cups. Because, thank you, Spirit, you're making some completions in your life because you've gained a confidence. You don't let anybody push you around anymore. You're not in their face about it. But I feel like with that 9, this is talking about a big ending for somebody. Yeah. Yeah. We've got the Five of Cups. Time for change. Time to let it go. You're worried about what you're going to have to leave behind. You may be in a situation or a relationship where financially dividing things up is going to be awkward. I feel like you're going to be leaving some assets, furniture. Go ahead and do it. Whether you're a man or a woman, you can do it. Start over again. Be happy. We've got the Eight of Cups, literally walking away from the same situation. Sad it's got to end. Walking away from it. Leaving that stuff behind. That it doesn't serve you. It's old baggage. I get that this isn't the first time. I feel like you've done this a couple times with this person. Eights can tell me it's a repeating cycle. We've got the Two of Wands. It may have been somebody from the past. And you may be getting a communication from them. Might even just be an old friend coming back to the circle by the fire. You're one of your beer drinking buddies from the old days. But I feel like you really prayed that a certain situation would not fall apart, that it would stay together. You sent your prayers up. However, it's not, the timing isn't completely perfect yet. That Two of Wands took us right to the Three of Swords. This was a huge disappointment for you. Huge disappointment. This could be just a job that for some of you that you really thought was going to work out. It was something you dreamt about. Spirit's really going back there on the light. And it didn't work out. It could be a relationship. You kind of love bombed yourself in the beginning thinking this was going to be it. It's all sunny and sparkly, and then it didn't. It was good till it wasn't. But we're going to come back to that Nine of Cups, though, because you've got that confidence. Took you a while to gain it. We also have the Hangman that came up. Now, it's going to feel like you're not going anywhere for a while. You've worked hard on yourself. This is a time that, like on any diet, anytime you lose weight, then you hit a plateau for a while before you can lose more. You're at a plateau right now. You put the work in and you've got to plateau out. It's like a breaking in period for a car when you put a new engine in. You have to run it nice and smooth and even before you can go again. That's where you're at. You're in that period where you need to take it nice, slow, and easy. All right. That was Cancer. Moving on to Leo. All right. I couldn't help but notice the time for Leo, that it started at 28:28. That is 11. And it's crazy. The first card that fell out is an 11 card. Get to that in a moment. Let me get the rest of these cards. All right, Leo. I think you had really had a tough time of it for a while. We've got the Two of Pentacles. I think finances were a huge, huge issue for you. You're finally getting them back into balance. You might be finally following a budget. Okay? So many of my friends, so many people that I know have no budget. They try to run month to month out of their pocket, not knowing exactly what they have, what goes out, not seeing it written out. You will overspend. Leos are kind of blingy anyway, and they will have a tendency to overspend. However, you're bringing that back into control. We've got the Two of Cups. You may be stepping into a partnership with somebody new that that you haven't worked with. Could even be a sport team. Thank you, Spirit. Is it marriage? All right, no answer there. However, you're stepping into some kind of new connection because you've got 2 2s in a row. Holy mackerel. 2 2s and 2 4s. And the video started at 28:28. Leo, this is crazy. Good shit though, dude. Let's go to that 4 Wands. I called it the 11:11, and that's exactly how energetically how it is. It is such a time of celebration because there are a lot of new things that are going to be coming your way. I get a little bit of travel for Leos, short distance maybe, local scenic stuff, you know, maybe like going 45 minutes or an hour just to get to a restaurant someplace. Some good travel happening. Venturing out, doors opening. That other 4 card is major arcana at that, and it is the Emperor. Leo, that is your energy there. You were also in the 2 of Cups. Yeah, that Emperor is literally you taking charge of a situation. Something's coming up. You need to be the head of the household. You have to be the leader of the bike pack. I don't know. Could be an Aries that you're dealing with, because he's got Aries all over his throne, the arms of his throne. When you're learning to read tarot, you have to look at the real fine subtleties of the cards. And it will help you pick out some things. But Leo, man, it's been a long time coming. All right, there you have it. Moving on to Virgo. All right, welcome back, Virgo. I started to shuffle, and a card came out. I asked the light if I should keep it. I am leaving it out on the table. All right, let's see what's going on for Virgo. Man, and you show up in your own deck, or your own reading. Holy moly. All right. Virgo, you showed up in your reading as the Empress. Taking control again. Sometimes Virgos can really get scattered because they're such perfectionists and they run around trying to get everything accomplished, try to get everything done. And that is absolutely who Virgo is. However, that is, intuitively I'm picking that up as you're coming comfortable with that now. You're a little more organized. You're not so scattered, and you're taking the throne of the Empress. The Empress is royalty, and she is over the queens. As a matter of fact, she rules the queens. Here we have 2 queens for Virgo on the Empress. You can't make this shit up. Queen of Wands and the Queen of Swords. Queen of Wands is telling me you are expecting a fight. You were expecting to have to fight for something, and it's going to come easier than you expect. So you can just kind of sit back and be confident. The reason you don't have a fight is because you've got that confidence of that Empress behind you. That's you. Pull your shit together. You're confident now, right? Yes, I am. The Queen of Swords. You're still going to have a tendency to kind of get up in your head a little bit. Swords are always they're air signs. However, you're expecting the truth out of people now. Usually I talk about you coming into your truth. However, you are seeing when somebody's not telling you the truth, not giving you the facts. A lot of you that follow me are highly empathic, highly intuitive, and you see, your bullshit meter sees right through that stuff. Virgo, we have the Devil card, and it came up in reverse. So you are letting go of all that being up in your head, all that running around trying to be perfect. You're letting go. And Virgos are going to see a big change in the next 6 months all the way around. But there is something that has absolutely got to fall away. Thank you, Spirit on the Light. Bam. Trying to find the words how to say this. Something has absolutely got to fall away for the better stuff to come. Now, it could get a little thick and a little bit ugly. But Virgos, the opportunity to take that throne back and sit there as the Empress. You're going to be all right. Ride this out. This too shall pass. All right, moving on to Libra. All right, Libra, welcome back. Let's see what is in the cards for you. How many have I got? I think we've got what we need. I think we have absolutely what we need. We have the King of Wands, and he's sitting here all stiff and straight, and that chair doesn't look real comfortable. Excuse me. It almost feels like he just sat down from coming back from battle. Like, I'm tired. I'm just going to sit here. Libra, I feel like that's you. You've been through the fight, coming back from battle. It's been a struggle for you for the last 6 months in a lot of different avenues: home, work, finance. You've had a lot of things really. Just nothing cooperated, nothing went your way. Dishwasher might have broke down and then it was fine, and just a lot of confusion and chaos. But bam, you had the Tower card. This is one of the most dreaded cards in the deck. And Libra, you needed it to happen. I get the feeling, and it came up in reverse, so I got the feeling it already happened. And you're coming out the other side of that battle tired, and you're going to sit down. Are you, speaking of sitting down, can you get turned around? You're going the wrong way. Come on. Get finished getting in there. All right. Nope. Yep. Nope. Shall we pause? You're headed the wrong way. All right, you got it. All right, so you're coming back from battle. You're ready to sit and relax. Which way do I want to go first? Look, you have a brand new vista out there. The worst is over. The sun is shining over the Fool shoulder. The Fool card. That's the very first card in the deck. And it's not that it doesn't mean that somebody's being made a fool of. He's just a little bit foolish because he's so brand new at this thing. Doesn't know anything about anything. So he's just out there hanging on the edge of that cliff because he's brand new in the world, doesn't know it's dangerous out there. And do you know what that's going to get you, Libra? Ace of Swords. It's going to give you the opportunity to stand back and see what truth you want to follow. There may be something with religion that you're changing up, different church, different beliefs. I just recently helped a fella that was practicing the dark occult find Jesus. That's the sword of truth. Whatever your truth might be, you are getting ready to step into that, Libra. I also see you kind of enlightening and educating yourself too in this time that's coming up. Not a bad thing. They can't take education away from you. All right, Libra, let's see who's next. Scorpio. See you in a moment, Scorpio. All right, welcome back, Scorpio. Hello, Spirit on the Light. Thank you for popping back in. Let's see what Scorpio has got going on. Some of the same, I'm switching, I've got 3 different decks that I'm using, and I have been switching back and forth, and a lot of the same cards are still coming up, which is really a good thing. It tells me that I'm tapping into the universal energy, and it makes no difference what I use, that I'm kind of going to the same source. All right, we have Scorpio. You're gold, man. We've got the 8 of Pentacles. You minded your own business and did what you were supposed to do. You took your book back to the library. You put your shoes back by the door. You rinse the tub out when you're done. You've done the work. You've perfected a lot of things. Scorpio, you feel you're almost like Virgos in a way. You demand a lot of perfection in a lot of things. And most of all, it's in yourself. You've really scrutinized yourself. However, we have the Justice card. Don't be so hard on yourself. You're being a little too critical. Sometimes being so critical, you can stab yourself with that sword. The sword of justice. Thank you, Spirit on the Light. With that Justice card, I'm also getting the number 11. So if you happen to see 1111, you'll know that you are on the right track. I don't know why, but it's been coming up pretty frequently. And let's see what's next. We're going to take the Lover's card. Now, some of you Scorpios have kind of been, running solo. Bachelor, bachelorette. I get the feeling that somebody new is getting ready to come into your energy. Now, I don't know that you're meeting this person yet, if you're single, but you're going to start getting in there closer to their energy so you can meet them. In other words, you might pass the same person in the supermarket. They may get gas or the same place that you get gas. Eventually, the universe starts bringing them a little closer, and then eventually you will run into each other. And it could end very happily ever after. We've got the Ace of Cups. I see you offering your heart up to somebody. Whoever this person is coming around. This is a good connection. I feel like it's somebody with it that really fits you a little better than in the past and the connections that you have had. If you are a Scorpio and already married, you're going to reconnect. And it's time to do that. You should do that every so often anyway. Go on a romantic weekend. Just spend time with your partner. Learn to love them again. Okay? All right. Moving on to Sagittarius. All right, Sagittarius, welcome back. Let's see if we can get you some cards. These cards, I love them. However, they are so brand new, they're slippery. Let's see what's going on for Sagittarius. All right, Sagittarius. Rolling forward, moving forward at a high rate of speed here. Look at this. Wow. All right, let's start with the Four of Pentacles. One card there. You are becoming a little protective, a little closed off, a little recluse. It feels like somebody's trying to push you out. Another woman coming in. Another man coming in. Either way. And you're very protective because in the past, that's cost you money. You always put your heart out there and your bank book. Keeping a little closed off. I feel you're getting maybe a little depression. We've got the Nine of Wands. Wounded warrior. Man, you've been through this before, Sag. As a matter of fact, that is your card. That is a Sagittarius card. It is a fire sign, and so are you. Just keep staying strong. That 9 is saying that you're wrapping up something, you're completing something, you're getting ready to leave something behind that wasn't serving you. It might just have been, you know what, just an old way of doing something, an old habit that you had, the way you dried the dishes, whatever. But I see you feeling a little brokenhearted too. Well, here we go. We got a 6 card, which is the Lover's card. Now, this could be a connection that you're already in, that you're feeling a little bit of fear and worried a little bit there. With that Lover's card, though, it could be just something karmic that it was meant to happen. Something you had to go through, get the lesson, and get past for your own personal growth and development. Might have been a Gemini that you're dealing with. And as we're moving forward, it might be something that's going to happen in Gemini time. So that is, let's see, what Gemini. In next month? Have to look. Oh my gosh. How many years have I been doing this? So it might be happening in Gemini time. And we've got the Wheel of Fortune. So yeah, let it roll. It's almost like you're walking up to the tomb and rolling the stone away. This is where you start your life again. This is where your rebirth comes out of that 9. Whatever it is you're going to be leaving behind, you're coming out of there fresh. I've never used that analogy before for the Wheel of Fortune, but I just realized it is a 10 card, and that is a God card. All right. There you have it, Sagittarius. You're making a positive out of what was a negative for a long time. Go. Let's see, who have we got next? Capricorn. See Capricorns in a moment. All right. Hello, Capricorn. Let's see what is in the cards for you guys. Whether you are Capricorn in your sun, your moon, or your rising sign. And I thought I saw the Capricorn come right out at me. We have the Devil card. There you are in your own reading. All right, we've got the Page of Wands. He's kind of showing up to say whatever you think is how the things are going to be going. It's changing. Plot twist. Thank you, Spirit, on the light. Things are just going to change up a little bit here. They need to change. We have the Five of Wands. Been a lot of frustration, a lot of combat happening, a lot of arguing. Somebody's been dealing with somebody with a habit or a problem. It could be drugs, alcohol, gambling, pornography, something that isn't good. Now, some of you are dealing with somebody that just has a bad habit of, belching out loud. Maybe picking her nose. I don't know. But you're dealing with somebody that has a bad habit. And yes, thank you, Spirit. And you're helping them work towards this change. It's going to be productive. It's got something to do with ingesting something, because I feel like somebody is going to change up a diet too. Maybe some word from the doctor that maybe your cholesterol's up or your blood pressure's up, and you begin to say, I better pay more attention to me. And we've got the Eight of Pentacles. I think you're going to dedicate yourself to taking your life back under control. Your health and your relationships. You can work on your health all you want. You can jog miles. You can drink all the best water and eat the best food. But unless you really take care of yourself mentally and emotionally, and have friends that you can communicate with, you're going to continue to come back into this little funk you fall down in every once in a while. All right, there you have it, Capricorn. Moving on to Aquarius. All right, welcome back, Aquarius. Let's see what is in the cards for you guys. We have been almost all over the board with what's been happening for people. Let me know in the comments. Do you watch other than just your own sign, or do you watch for other people? See how Grandma is doing. Your comments help me an awful lot. All right, Aquarius. Let's see what is here in the cards for you. Oh, geez. Can we knock it off already? This is all about looking back at the past. Come on. We have the Five of Cups. Boy, it's difficult for you to leave something behind. I feel like it's a family connection. Maybe somebody died, and it's been a while, and it's hard for you to part with something that was theirs. Maybe it's some of you are dealing with lost loved ones, and you're having a hard time moving forward from that. We've got the Four of Swords. You're heartbroken. You're up in your head about this. A lot of sorrow here. I think it's going to be okay, though. You've really been thinking about the whole situation. You're beginning to open your eyes up and see somebody else's perspective of this. You're realizing you may not have been right. So you're going to clobber them with 9 of Wands. Now, we know that been talking today about with 9s being the end, a lot of endings coming. That 9 is saying that the attitude that you looked at this with is what's coming to an end. You're no longer going to allow things to beat you up. You're no longer going to take them personal. You're going to go, hey, consider the source. Let it go. Let that shit go. And that's exactly what 9s are about. Let that shit go. Aquarius, you're going to move forward from this. We have the 4 of Pentacles. Yeah, you're going to move forward where you're going to have a little bit of things to show off. Like maybe you're the person in the neighborhood that always had to drive the junkie car. And you're going to get something better, something newer. You're going to be protective over it. And that's what he's doing. Being a little bit protective. He's got it. He's got their 4, so it's like 4 wheels. Got his feet on it so he can ride around on it. But this has been an ultimate for you to finally get this. Maybe this is a vehicle. Maybe you're getting a motorcycle, anything to do with transportation. You might be getting a new backhoe. I don't know. Because 4 is about structure and solid. So there you have it, Aquarius. Not a bad way to go. I mean, it starts out feeling kind of, like you're defeated, but you got that 4 and you've got it headed in your direction. All right. Last but not least, I had to look and see Pisces. Why do I always forget? I get a little tired after I start doing all these videos. All right. Hang on, Pisces. I'll be right back with you. All right, Pisces. Welcome back. Switched up the cards a little bit here. A little better, different energy. Do have the paranormal flashlight gun behind me. I found myself sitting with my shoulders hunched up. She's getting a little older and taking a little more room, and I'm just trying to get into where I need to be here. All right, Pisces. A lot of the same cards coming up out of 3 different decks, letting me know that I'm tapping into the right source, and that's the energy overall for the collective. All right, we have the Devil card. Right there you have it. Bam. You are letting go of a lot of fear. You have been literally captured and held captive by your own fear. You may be dealing with anxiety or depression, and that's in that your fear is you can't go anywhere in case something happens. I don't want to go. I don't want to go. Yeah, this has been almost a living hell for you. This is a time you're going to find when things are going to just begin to finally iron out, and for you to not feel that way. You were almost addicted to feeling that way. The brain releases, when we have anxiety and depression, the brain releases chemicals that are very similar to addiction. And a lot of people become addicted to drama because of those chemicals. We have the Five of Swords. That's the change that I was hoping that you would have. Hoping it was coming. Yeah, you're going to cut a lot of people out of your life, and you're cutting something else out. Something in the, might be diet or nutrition. Something that you figure out that's what's making me feel bad. For me personally, I dealt with a little bit of depression. You know, lost a couple of kids, and you know, marriage and a house and everything that happens in life, and went through a little depression. And I tried a lot of stuff. First, it was medications. Then I went on to supplements. And I'm getting a lot of relief with supplements, but I saw a huge relief in my depression and anxiety when I gave up flour, okay? But you're cutting something out too. Some kind of lifestyle change, and I think it's just got to do with not feeling so self-defeated that, oh, I can't do that. I can't. Why try? I don't want to get shot down. You know why? Because you brought the posse with you. We got two kings here. Have some confidence. You're allowed. You're at a point in your life where you've just were never allowed to be confident. You were, somebody had to, you wanted to, they told you to be quiet. You might have been raised in an era that you weren't allowed to speak unless you were spoken to, that kind of thing. Knight of Wands is saying, look, we're not fighting about it anymore. I'm taking my stands on this, or my seat, as a matter of fact, like he's sitting there. No, there'll be no fight about it. My way or the highway. And you've worked and worked to get to the spot where you earned the respect. You can always tell when I'm channeling because I have to stop and reiterate because it's coming so quick. The King of Cups. You are entering into a moment, time of enjoyment that you have not had. I see boating for some of you, fishing maybe, a lot of water associated with this healing that's going on. You might be putting in a backyard pool, a water feature, a little a galvanized pan with a goldfish in it. I don't know, but there is a lot of healing that's going to be happening for Pisces. Is that crazy? Around the water. Now that, you know what? Take a look at that card. That's a fish. That's water. I shall look closer next time. And last but not least, I pulled one more card just because I felt there was something lacking here. We got the Page of Pentacles. This change is going to take you the right direction. It's taking you the right direction. Stay the course, Pisces. You got this. All right, you guys, you know, I want to thank you. The fact that you dropped by to see me absolutely humbles me. And I never leave you. That I don't sincerely bless you with love and light. See you soon.